Hi, my name is Jared. Also go by P. Welcome to Blasted. From Miami originally. I grew up with my mom. My dad wasn't around. I'm the youngest of three siblings. Um, I had a pretty good childhood. My mom took care of me a lot. Only her. And I saw her like struggle with her work, always trying to do the best for me. We moved to Connecticut. I did my freshman year at East Hartford High. And from my sophomore to my senior year, I went to Manchester High. As a little kid, in my elementaries, I just remember like drawing. Always drew, always colored penciled something, always drawing. I met my dad around for the first time when I was 11. First thing he did was he drew a portrait of me by sitting there on the couch. I kind of put two and two together where I got my drawing skills from. I first came across tattooing when I was at Manchester High School, which was the second high school I had went to in Connecticut after getting there 2 years prior. And I had met some people, and I was close friends with this guy named Razio. And Razio was more like well off type. He lived in like a surrounded community with his mom. His mom kind of like was a cool mom. She let him kind of do whatever he wanted. So when Razio came to school one day, he had like a couple tattoos on him, and I was like, "Oh shit, those shits are dope. Where'd you get them?" He's like, "I don't have the number, but I could take you. It's pretty much you just go to his house and he just tattoos you, and that's it. No questions asked." And I was like, "Shit, okay." And at that time, I had just came up upon some money from my dad, my stepdad, and I was 16 with some money in my pocket, not really thinking. I'm like, fuck, what's my mom gonna think? And I just went with it. I was like, fuck it, let's skip one day and take me. And we took the bus, like 3, 4 buses. We got there, and like it was like the shady part of like Hartford, Connecticut. Like it's known for like gangs in there, and like we were walking. It was middle of the day, and we just showed up to this guy's house. We knocked 3 times, and he's like, "What's up, man? What do you want?" And he pretty much laid out a book of designs. And back then, it was like you either pick what you got, and that's it. There was like no Pinterest, there was no Google. It's either a custom piece or something that's already like picked, drawn up. So I picked like these two skulls, and that was it. Showed up at my mom's, and I tried to hide it for like the longest, and finally she just saw it. And then eventually I just started getting like hooked on it. Like little by little, I would go like went to that guy like 3, 4 times till I knew like, oh, it's got to be cheap for a reason. And I kept noticing, like my work, his work, it was like not really up to par, and I just like stopped going to him. And then I went to started going to some shops and like trying to feel like the artist, like who am I gonna vibe with, and like went to this one shop in like a Latino dominant area, and there was like literally I want to say like skinheads, but like they were like promoting that, and I didn't think of nothing. I just thought there were some good artists, and like I kind of like I offended him because I was like, oh, I was like middle session, I was like trying to talk tattoos, and he's like, I'm trying to like do something with this. And he's like felt bothered almost like if I intruded on his business, and I was like, nah. And he's like, well, he started getting like really like pushy, like you want to finish this with, like you wanted to finish the piece or not, like type, you know. And after that, I just didn't even bother finishing it with him. I just felt like a vibe that just wasn't there. So I hit up a couple other shops, and that was it. I would for a whole year I was getting tatted like every other month. I was more intrigued with tattooing and getting involved into it like shortly after that. I was like, after going to the shop, seeing how they set up. Also, like in my head, I was like, oh, this is another form of medium that I could, practice my art on, which I was already like doing black and gray portraits, drawing though, and doing like charcoal paintings here and there. But I was like intrigued by it. I was like, the way they set up, the process that goes into it, and like this is permanent. And I pretty much got a eBay tattoo kit. Went on YouTube. I wasn't tattooing right away, but I was just wanting to know the basics, like cleanliness. Like that's always like a big thing with me, cleanliness. Even then, even now, it's cleanliness with tattooing goes a long way. The way you set up, so like all those little things got me more intrigued. And like I first practiced on myself, on my thighs, and I noticed right away that it wasn't the same as paper. And had like a bouncy, like you almost had to like from like what the videos would say, you have to really stretch out the skin. And even as I felt like as much as I stretched out the skin, my hand was still shaky, so I was like nervous at first. So I really didn't tattoo people unless they really wanted to, which was like my friends, and I would just do them like little flash ones. So I did that around high school. So right before high school, I was already tatted. So I kind of already knew, like, I got to do something with this because I already bought, not just because I just bought the machine, and I wasted my money. No, it's just because I kind of like, once you pick it up, it's like hard to put down once you figure it out. Once you like, you get your rhythm going, it's hard to put down. I feel like it's my escape. Yeah, before getting my first machine, I knew there was this one brand that's still around today, Tommy's Supplies, and they're out of Connecticut. I knew I wanted a machine by them, but I didn't have the money, and so I just went on eBay and I kind of saw a kit that's already put together, the main things to get started. But what I really was looking for was like a good, solid machine. I didn't care about the rest, like little things that came with it. So I got on eBay, got it, and I just started tricking it out, like tuning it. I even went to ordered some from Tommy's some coils, and I started breaking it down. That was like the basic YouTube was trying to tell me, like know your machine, fine tune it. So even before you even get started, just make sure everything's running properly. Till this day, I only have had like a few like I can probably like five like brand name machines. But other than that, I've used like off brands. I feel like it's not the machine that makes the artist; it's the artist. It's the tool. You're the one controlling it. But yeah, I mean, tools have come a long way since then. The needles don't even use needles no more. Cartridges from now on. It's easy disposable, quick and easy. Clean up. You don't have to sit there and clean the tubes. The first tattoo I did, I think had to be like this jalapeno chili pepper on some chick that I used to work with. And on the weekends, on my day off, I was still getting this money from my stepfather. So I would rent out motels and do little motel parties, and like whoever wanted to get tatted, if you had a little bit of money, that was like you were my guinea pig. But so I got my practice on like that. But even then, I didn't like to do that till I actually knew what I was doing. So like I would practice on myself even more, and then I feel like I got the lines put down right. There's some solid. Kind of was going for the traditional look at first, solid bold lines. And I kind of learned the needles and how to properly use them. Certain depths and whatever and whatnot. But my first tattoo, yeah, was a red hot chili pepper. That thing like scabbed up so bad for like a month. I had to see the girl at work, and I'd always be checking up on it. I was like, yeah, just keep putting A&D on it. Eventually, it'll go away. And I mean, over time, it went to normal. But yeah, I had some close calls. with like with infection, like the hurting the skin. It's if you don't know what you're doing, don't really try it. There's a skin is it could only take so much. Another funny one, not funny, but I used to go to night school for my last senior year of high school, and the crowd was different from day school. The night school was like the outcasts, like they smoke cigarettes, they drink beer. Everybody knows, they're just there to like kick it. So there's this one girl, she was always drunk, even in day school. She was always drunk, drinking, but mind you, she's 100 pounds at least, wet. And she heard from somebody that was doing tattoos. So at that time, I was living with my girlfriend's parents. So I tattooed her while they were at work, and then I thought I was gonna be done, with the tattoo right before school. So we went to school. So boom, I brought her over, tattooed her, but my girlfriend's stepdad was like a drinker, so automatically she asked me, "Can I have some vodka?" I was like, told her no, I don't want you drinking throughout the tattoo. So I know I went to the bathroom a couple times that day. So I put two and two together. She was drinking while I was at the bathroom, and every time I kept asking her if it was okay, she was like, "Fine." So tattoo's done. It was like a two clovers with a banner, Irish pride or whatever. And she gets to school and she passes out in the class. And mind you, I'm in a different class. All I hear is like the security pulling me off my second period, and it's like, "What'd you do to this girl? She's in the hospital. They're saying that she's got alcohol poisoning." I'm like, I don't know anything about that because I didn't see her drinking. All I know is ink poisoning. If they would have said ink poisoning, I was like, oh, okay, maybe. But so that was one of those scary first times that they were like kind of risky. In the beginning, I would like go to your house, do house calls, set up appointments after my regular job. Do anything just to tattoo and get my practice on. Back in Connecticut, there's like in my town, the towns are small, and there's like shops, but they're still like living in like the 50s where everything's like, like passed down through like the apprenticeship, like how it's supposed to. So I did. I went around and asked all the shops in the surrounding towns, and they were looking for some help, and they all like kind of turned me down. So it's like, I want to do it, but they keep turning me down, and like I feel like I already had like a little bit of like knowledge into it, so I just kind of kept going and kept doing my thing, and it wasn't like dead set. That's what I was doing because I still had two other jobs on the side, so that was like still my hobby, but I wanted to lean off my job and go straight into it. Teaching myself how to tattoo is definitely harder than how it is now. It's more formal, like with social media. The networking you have is a lot more than what it was 10 years ago. Trying to ask for an apprenticeship at a shop, it was like people didn't want to take you in. It was like that's their legend. That's what they're gonna pass on and to somebody, and like they don't want to pass it off. To somebody that's probably not even interested. That they just think it's cool for the pastime. Um, so it was a lot harder for me because I felt like I was doing the most to try to prove myself, and I would show him my drawings. I'm like telling him, obviously I already knew how I worked. Like you don't get paid, but it was that sense of just being in the shop that would have made me feel like more accepted. But also it taught me to like persevere, like be persistent and like on your own. You could now where I'm 10 years ahead of where I was like starting into it. Now I know everything. Not correct that. I don't know anything everything. I still can learn more. But it was way different. Now it's more accepted for new people trying to get into it to like get into it because everybody's more welcoming into the industry. Um, they want to pass it on not just because it's just like that's their legend. It's because everybody's doing it. It's that's the form of if you want to get into something, you have to do it. Master or no master, like somebody's gonna do it. Well, I didn't. When I came down to California, I always had like even since middle school, I always have like a some type of bonding connection with California. Like everybody wants to go to the West Coast, even from the East Coast, East versus West, all that. I kind of play grew up with in my childhood. Um, but my first real connection with California was in middle school in Miami. There's these couple kids that their dads would come pick them up in their lowriders, and I was like, oh shit, that shit's cool. And like they would sometimes bring their bikes, and I would like that's what got me intrigued into California, even before Connecticut. Um, but I knew this is where it was at for tattooing because you would see it on the magazines, TV shows. Um, you come to California, come get the best black and gray, and artists like Freddie Negretti, um, Good Time Charlie, all those guys. That's the fine line tattooing. Like that's what I was trying to get into, that Chicano kind of look. I thought that was cool. All that. Me personally, not being Mexican, I definitely appreciate the culture. Um, I'm Honduran, 100%. My last name may be McFarland, but 100% Honduran. But I definitely have embraced the culture living here. Um, but I knew if I wanted to be a tattoo artist, I had to come here, and like I had to do it by myself. Like I don't care what people think. Um, but I pretty much packed my bags. One day I had the opportunity. I was living out of my friend's apartment, and he would let me there stay rent free. Just did the chores and tattoo him whenever he wanted. So it was kind of pretty good gig. And then one time we got the chance to come visit our mutual friend Roberto over here in Van Nuys, and he's like, yeah, he wants us to come up there and visit. So I was like, all right, say less. So we kind of scammed our way for gas money to come here. It was pretty funny. He had a brand new Matrix or brand new Scion TC, and those things were the thing right when they came out. He had full coverage on it, so I told him like, yo, you should ding your car up a little bit and go get the check, and we could use it for gas money. And put a couple scratches on the door, a couple dents here and there, and we went down to Progressive, and they cut him a check right there and there for like 2 grand. Obviously, he didn't use it. We went home, packed up. I had packed up since I didn't have much. I had like a laundry basket and a backpack. I left all my jeans behind. I thought it was gonna be California, always hot. Um, Came over here end of summer, early fall. I was like, damn, this shit's getting chilly over here. And we got here in 2 days, nonstop driving through through old Route 66, all that cross country. Um, and then when we got into Van Nuys, I was like, where the hell are we? I'm thinking like big city skyline, choppers everywhere, fucking cholos here, But it wasn't like that here in the valley. I was like, okay, I could kind of get used to this. So my friend actually had to take off. So he kind of left me in like a predicament. Like, am I staying or am I going back? And like, I'm already like, I'm already all the way in. Like, I'm staying. And I asked my other friend Roberto. I'm like, hey, can I crash on your couch? And that was it. Like, I slept on his couch for like 3 months, and then I finally got my job, got back on little my feet, and I was working like kitchen jobs, catering, cutting trees. But I was still trying to do tattoos. So, on my days off, I would go around the valley and ask shops, if they needed help. Again, the whole hey, like an apprenticeship type, you know. I know I need to learn again, you know. I've only done it on the side. Now it's been a while. I need to get back into it, but I want to do it formally. So went to North Hollywood, hit all the Van Nuys shops. Yeah, so I was working at Chi Chi's. It's a pizza place in Northridge. Um, they only give me like 3 days a week, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, all the busiest days. Nobody wanted to work, and but on my off days, I would go around. Mind you, I didn't have no car, and I was trying to have my bike and the bus. So I would make my way around the valley and those either my bike or the bus. And I didn't have an Instagram back then. I had a Facebook, and I would just show people at the shops like my Facebook, like little couple tattoos, you know, here and there, a couple drawings. But I didn't like really set my portfolio up till the lady at the swap meet called me. She's like, "Hey, you might want to do this." And so I printed out a couple of them, put them in, slapped them in a nice leather book, and that was my portfolio. And I still have it to this day. And she called me, and I was so excited. I was like, "Tattoo?" I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." I didn't care what tattoo shop it was. I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I remember." So I was like, "You want to come down here for an interview tomorrow, or whatever?" And I didn't care. Like I said, I just wanted, yeah, have the. I was excited to be actually called up to be in the opportunity to be in the shop, and right away she explained that to me that I had to get a certified by the state, take my bloodborne pathogen certificates, just in order just to work. So I hustled that in like 2 3 days. Like I was already like doing that. I already had did it. I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory what it is. It's you gotta get the basic knowledge of what you're gonna be working with, the blood, the infections, what could happen if you get pricked. What could just pretty much safety. It's the PPE, like protection protocol. And so you pretty much she had already like an assigned lady that she sent all of her artists to, and this lady it was actually her husband doing the certificates at the time. He passed away, and you would go to Long Beach and you would sit down in an hour class, hour course, learning about how to handle everything, and he would give you a quiz. And once he felt like you passed, you take the certificate down to the health department and commerce, and that's it. You pay your fees, your dues, your yearly due, and you're a tattoo artist here in California. Yeah, so I mean, it's fairly easy to be acknowledged by the state and to know that you're certified clean. At least you know what you're doing. A lot of people nowadays don't know what they're doing. It's because it's so easy to get the certificate. Yeah, the fee is for just one certificate, it's like $30 online now. When I first did it, it was like $60 in cash. So now it's everything's online after COVID. You can do everything online now, so it's fairly cheaper. Saves you a lot of gas. But and then the health department fee is like $60, which hasn't changed since I started tattooing. When I first started working at this first shop here in the valley at the swap meet, I already knew kind of like swap meet. You don't want to get tatted at the swap meet, but I remember like when I was 14, I skipped school one day and went to the swap meet and got my tongue pierced. I was like, all right, whatever. You got to start somewhere. It's your stepping stone. I was like, and like I said before, my pride, I put my pride to the side, and I just took it, ran with it, and I didn't care that it was a swap meet. I cared about like my art. I'm gonna actually be doing this again and full time now. Like fuck a 9 to 5. Like this is where I want to be, and like all the clientele there was a lot of like Mexicans, Latinos, Salvadorians, like a lot of like Spanish culture. So the first year it was a lot of like first couple months was a lot of names, infinity symbols, crosses, just simple stuff. And finally, I got back into the rhythm of things of like picking up the machine, setting up everything. I got back into. I felt more comfortable. being in an environment meant for it and not trying to like, oh, hey, you want a tattoo today? Like trying to hunt people down. I was like, no, there's a lot of, believe it or not, there's a lot of like interaction right there just because of the amount of people that go there. Um, I myself still go there. Like, I just know who to go to. Um, but yeah, I was excited. Um, it was a lot different because as the months went by, you kind of saw like the way the boss acted. The lady that hired me, she was like, not. She didn't have tattoos. She didn't do tattoos. She just ran it. Like, she knew where the money's at, and like I kind of after a while it got boring, like feeling like a machine, just like busting out tattoos for like the low. And it's like being a barber. You pay for your station or you pay how much you're gonna charge a person there. So it was a 50-50 split where sometimes it was always 50-50, but sometimes she quoted the person. So it's not like what you were like trying to kind of like in your head, oh, I'll be good with this, this much, I'll be fine. The shop's getting their cut, I'm getting my cut, we're all happy. But sometimes just because like her clients would be repetitive clients, she would just hook them up. And I would tell her, it's like, it's we're trying to like advance, I felt like it was like a shop stuck in her ways in a way, and like so 50-50 was like, fuck it. At least I'm doing my tattoos. So I would put up with it, put up with it. So you know your worth, you know. So mostly I think now I don't know what it is. It might have gone up. Well, there the minimum at that shop, that minimum was 40. So you could walk in with $40 and get a little something real quick, 10-20 minutes. And I would say what I'm charging now for like a forearm, a quarter of a forearm, now probably between like 6, 7. Back then we were doing quarter arms for like 250, 300. And that was the set price for stuff like that. And like we didn't argue with it. It's like we were better off like tattooing than not making nothing at all. Um But yeah, over the time, those 250s they turned into 350s, 450 until now. But they gave you that learning experience of, oh, don't do this better, And I could say at that shop, what I really liked the most was like everybody was like a unit. Like we were like competing with each other, but not really competing. Like we were just trying to help each other make um get better. Um, So that's what I liked about that spot. Like if I was busy, I would toss you work, and if you couldn't do it, the next guy would do it. But we would always try to like keep it in the shop. Um, but yeah, I had to go from that shop. Like I felt like I'm getting better. I know I'm getting better. Maybe like we should up the price a little bit. And like anytime we made suggestions like that, she's like, "No, I've been running it this way." So it's like at that point, in my head, I'm like, do I want to exceed? Do I want to get better? Or do I want to stay here like the last two guys that were here for 12 years? You know, I was like, no. And I got the opportunity one time. I think we had like a little couple words back and forth. We're already on edge, because like all I was doing was trying to make the shop better, but it wasn't my shop. So I just put my foot down and I was like, I'm leaving. She told me to leave for the weekend, and I knew that it was like busy days for her. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave for the weekend. I'll take my appointments home, and just went downstairs, grabbed the box, and started packing up my stuff right then and there. I didn't even think about it twice. Rent was coming up. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, I'm gone. Like I feel like I already put enough time, effort here. I got my clientels up. I got people hitting me up. I didn't want to sound like cocky about it, but like I'm like, okay, like anything else that I've like stumbled in life, I've overcome, and I can overcome this. And I was already like looking into other shops to like expand and not have leave with nothing, kind of like have my hopes up for something. So I left and I did like a week's worth of tattoos at my house, and the following week this guy Omar from the Experience Inc. He hit me up and he's like, "Hey man, you still want to work here?" So went over there and I went to this other shop, which was I felt like it's instantly getting there. You get the tattoo shop vibe. You smell the green soap. You know, now it's more welcoming. Like there's actual tattoos, fine art on the walls. You know, it's not just flash sheets. So I felt like it was definitely different. You know, coming from another to a formal tattoo shop and not just like a drive-through one, if that makes sense. So I spent like a year there. Um, After a couple months of being there, the team kind of like separated. They went off and did their own thing, so I was kind of left alone for about a couple months till management found new artists to come in and start working with me. And I spent like a year there, but like also like at the swap meet, the shop was kind of ran the same, except the management wasn't there every day. So she she ran it like you guys are in charge. Um, and I wasn't there for that. You know, I'm not here to run your shop. I'm here to make money for your shop. You should be here making, helping us make money as well, like promoting, answering phones. Like, I felt like I was answering phones, trying to do piercings and like still tattoo, and it was just getting hectic. I was just like I couldn't. So after that 1 year, I was like, I was already looking into some other shop. I like in North Hollywood. I saw their work. I saw they had a few artists that they were like putting out really good work, and I was like, I want to work with those guys. Opportunity came where I reached out to the owner, Peter, and he gave me a shot. And he's like, "Yeah, I've seen your work. I think you have potential." And was there for another year, and I just felt like that their bond was way too like tight for me. Like their bond was like almost like a family, which is cool. That's what you want. That's what I was looking for. But being the new person in the shop, it's like you're always gonna be looked at differently because who is this guy? We want to get to know you. And like, but at the end of the day, it's management who hires you. You just gotta work. You gotta play and along with everybody. And at the end of the day, it was just like we weren't. Everybody was not seeing eye to eye, and I always did my own thing and left. I didn't hang around after work, chill, went out. I just literally went to work, did my own thing, and that was it. And like, I feel like that's a part of like a way why I left that shop, and just like that bond, it wasn't clicking. So this other shop was opening up. My friend told me about they needed artists, so I checked it out, and it was a brand new shop. So it was like nobody knew each other, so that was I like that. Nobody knew each other. Everybody was just trying to like get in to like start something new and fresh. And so I lasted like a year and a half there. It's just like things just started going different from when I first started working there, and you get that low key. I don't know. I want to say like hate. I don't know what it is, envy, whatever it is. I just felt that, and like I felt like it was just time to go, and like it was a time where like everybody felt the same. So it's like the boss came up to me and was like, "Hey, it's not working out. I'm sorry, but like a grown man, I took it. Took the hit and started my own thing, and ever since then, it's just been better for me. Um, there's even less restrictions on my work. Now I could do my own thing, like artistically, management type. I don't have people telling me, "Hey, you got to be here at a certain time." When I say doing my own thing, I feel like you're your own boss. setting up shop on my own, and I was comfortable enough where I feel like I have enough clientele that are reaching out to me, like not on a daily, but like they're reaching out to me, and I'm making my appointments. I'm so I've always made my appointments after the swap meet. Always made my own appointments, like like take care of my own books, and if the shop wants to throw me work, then I'll get it, and that's another client for me. So I felt like I had enough clientele already going like 4 years tattooing where I felt comfortable leaving and not like looking back and setting up shop and just moving everything over to the here where I'm at. And I've been here for like a year and a half now, and I have no complaints. People. I'm not thinking about what other persons are doing, what they're thinking of me. If you know I'm tattooing a certain way, and I don't have to worry about that here at my own studio. I'm focused on you, your time. You reached out to me because you like my work, obviously. So I'm trying to give you the best work. Criteria of tattoos I'm focusing on right now is a lot. I'm trying to focus on a lot of like big scale arm pieces. It all comes with time. I'm trying to work on like sleeves. I'm trying to work on backs. Um, Here and there I get the usual small ones. 30 minutes, an hour ones, but I'm really trying to focus on like tattoos that have more focus. Like instead of putting all like a bunch of elements in one design, more like break it down, like make it more simplified, but still get what you want. Example of thinking about somebody wants an owl. Usually you get the head, the body, sitting on a branch. Me, I want to do like the eye and the beak. Just kind of focus on the like the face of it, and off rip you already know what it is. It's an owl. Try more like a zoom in, you could say. I really enjoy doing color, which I don't do as much now. I feel like people don't get color work because it's a little bit more work, a little bit more pricier, but I really enjoy color. Um, but most right now, I do a lot of black and gray. I don't do tattoos. I really don't like doing are cover ups, tribals, um, finger tattoos, stuff. I just have a preference on what I like to do, and I feel like I've done enough of that in my first 3 years at the swap meet to like not know what I like to do. And if I don't like to do it, I'm not gonna enjoy tattooing you. You not tattooing you, but per se not have my full heart into it. So yeah, it's just I try to like try to please everybody, even if I don't want to do it, I know somebody who will. I'm gonna be like, no, I don't want to do it, and just leave you on red. I suggest other artists, in the valley here in LA that will take on the work. But some artists that I've met and here in the valley, gotta say shout outs to my tattoo artist Guns underscore 03 and Box underscore Tats. And I look up to these guys because I've seen them where they've been right next to me, and I've seen their progression and their art and how they're like from when we started. I was like, damn, you doing good, Like I want to be good like that, I want to be better, But it all comes with time, and I've told these guys like, damn, you got him good. Box Tat, Alex. I saw when he was an apprentice, he was like nervous, and now I see him like fuck, I've gotten a couple of tattoos by him, and I was like, man, I want to get tatted by you because I've seen where you were at and start and how nobody wanted to mess with you and get tatted by you, and now you got your own little thing going, and yeah, I respect those guys. And all for the upcoming artists, like I said, there's a lot now, but those few that make it, they you could tell the way their story is by their profile, kind of have a sense of like who they are. And I see the ones in LA that do the big scale that I want to do, and some of those artists are like Rebel Colors, Fernie Andrade, these guys are like doing like big black and gray pieces, you know, and their work is super nice. A lot of my promoting is by number one Instagram, but most most of all is word of mouth. My clients tell other friends, and that's pretty much how I work. I get most of my clientele from word of mouth. They tell their friends, and then they hit me up on Instagram. And oh, my friend Jordan or my friend Brian, you know, recommended me to you. I saw your work. I have a bumper sticker and my hashtag on it, and I caught a few clients off of that. Um, Another way of promoting is I go around and I pop up on places and I set up my little banner, my cards. I just talk to people, meet and greet, pass them out, and you know, you get the 50-50 chance that you're going to get somebody, but you're out there, you're putting yourself out there. Um, Another one is these art shows. Some tattoo shops. I just got invited to La Tinta Muerte in by Geronimo and Alpha 7 in Montclair. So he invited me to an art show where I'm gonna be presenting a coffin frame. Um, so putting yourself out there with like local artists and putting your name out there, you know, it's all intertwined in a way. My focus for the future would say, you know, I don't want to do tattoos for the rest of my life. I want to enjoy my life. I like painting. I want to go hiking. Like I don't want to be feel like it's a sense like of honor leaving your mark on somebody. Yeah, they look out. You know, they're looking for your art so you can brand them. But at the same time, it's tattooing's tiring. It may look all like fun and games. You know, yeah, we're cool, get tatted, probably party all night. No, like we're tired. Like you know, our backs hurt. Some of these guys have been doing this for a minute. You know, they know what I'm talking about. You know, they just want to not even. Sometimes I go like tattooing all day and I don't want to sit down for the next hour. um, but for the future, it's just like I honestly want to next 5 years. I want to do my own little shop. Like have my close knit friends, tattoo artist friends that I want to say, oh yeah, I could trust you at my shop. You know, I want you on board with me. You know, I don't want to be like I'm your boss. No, I want to do like a friend shop where everything like you don't, you know, you don't compete. Where everybody's united and like we're doing this for a cause. So that's my future goals in like 5 years. You know, after that, it's endless. You know, I want to start my brand and just go from there. You know, I can't like really think about 5 years from now. You know, because the time, if you got to think about 5 years from now, you have to think about it now. You can't just sit here and wait for it to happen. You have to do something now to make it happen in 5 years or 10 or however long it takes, as long as you do it. So those are the goals for Pizarron in the long run. You know, chill, not be like, still be sought after, but like not so much. Like more of exclusive, I guess. Being self-employed comes with a lot of responsibilities that you know you don't get help from the shop. Like that 50-50 does go for something. Um, Now that I think about it, that 50-50 went for my paper towels and the spot. Um, but there is a big difference being self-employed. Now you're not giving that 50 to that other person. Now it's all yours. So that other 50 could be your overhead. So, you know, it has its advantages and it doesn't it has its disadvantages. Say at working at a shop, you get more clientele because you're getting a lot of more walk-ins. You know, you're working with other artists that are like, you know, probably passing you on work or passing you clients. You know, I can't do this today. Can you help them out? You know, so you get that sense of like, oh, that you have that support. At the same time, it's like keep saying weary because it's like a fine line between like we're there for you, but you know at the same time Um, it's still you. You're the one doing the job. So that has an advantages. The At working at a shop, the advantages that you have working at a studio, it's like more quiet, more quiet. It's you. This is your spot. This is your dojo. A private studio. You have your rent alone that you need to have every month to keep this place going. Then you have your inks. You have your tattoo needles, tapes, bandages, caps, everything. All that was overhead. That it adds up, and people are just like, "Oh, it's just ink." Yeah, it's ink, but it's expensive ink. Um, it's needles, yeah, but this is your needle. You don't want play with stuff like that. So average, I would say like I spend on overhead like 2,500, you know, a month, and that's just like on profit of what I make on, you know, off the side to just to me to live my life and be happy, and go out and buy my food and gas, that yeah, my son, keep a head over his roof, you know. People don't see that. Like, yeah, they see it on the social media, but they don't really actually know the actual cost. Why are you so expensive? Or it's over time. It's dedication that I put in. I feel like that's my worth. There's definitely artists out there charging way more. There's people out there charging way less, but I'm not comparing myself to other people. That's why I set my prices, and if you don't like it, there's the door. There's other people. I'll be in. I'll even help you fucking find somebody um, that might help you because I'm that guy. Like, I want you to get tatted, but if you can't get tatted by me, just on tattoo supplies alone is like $600. COVID jacked everything up. It's like I was paying $10 a box for gloves. Now I'm paying like $25 if I wanted to buy one. Now it's just you're better off just buying it in bulk. But COVID really messed the prices up for like the minimum set by artists. Now I last time I was in a shop it was like 150 an hour. And they're not even doing. They're just charging you the hour now. Some people are doing it by the piece, which I've always done. Just feel like I don't want to feel like I'm robbing you by doing it hourly. Um, I'd rather just give you a set price that I'm happy with, and we're all happy with it. As far as being like self-employed and medical insurance, dental it's all out of pocket. It's like you don't want to get sick. You think you're sick. You're not sick every day, or like especially now with COVID, other viruses going around. You pray not to get sick. As a tattoo artist, you don't have. Oh, I could just go to the hospital and put it on my card. It's like shit. I don't have the money. So me personally, I try not to get sick. When I do get sick, like you can't find me working because I don't. That's hard. Like it's your health before tattoos. Like always, I rather you be good on your health. Like I don't care if you cancel on me the night before. If you say you got COVID, if you got COVID, you got COVID. I don't want you in here. But yeah, what else? No dental. I broke my hand last year, and I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to tattoo. I can't. I can't have a cast on my hand. So I went to Sobadora, and she strained it back out, and thank God I had no rods in it, but it was definitely broken. I went to the hospital, I had X-rays. You don't tell your clients. You just bite the bullet, and you just that's at least that's what I did. I was it was broken, but not enough to where my potential wasn't gonna be stopped all the way. So yeah, I just try not to put myself in risky situations because that's overhead that I don't want out of my pocket. To the clients out there, potential clients, anybody's client is even if you're gonna get come tattoo with me, and I'm talking about anybody, do your research. There's a lot of like scammers, people that are online, taking other people's work, claiming that it's theirs. Just do your research. Find out how long they've been tattooing. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. how you should prepare before even coming here. I always tell my client, get a good night's sleep. Don't drink. Bring water. Come well fed. Food surprisingly comes. It gives you the energy that you're gonna need for your tattoo. Tattoos take energy out of you, and they're painful. Like, they're not painful now, but they they're causing damage to your skin. All this sleeping, being well hydrated, all that helps on how your tattoo's gonna heal, on how the process is gonna go. All that, and I take into account. So I tell my clients even before like contact me, make sure I am your artist. I am the artist that you want. I'm not afraid to like pass on and like say no, but I just want you to make sure that we're on the same page, that my work is what you want. What I'm gonna start doing is Zoom meetings, and we could actually go over in person, video, and actually, instead of like having that confusion of misinterpret messages and oh, I'm charging you this for this, but I don't want none of that confusion. So what I usually do is send me the idea, send me ideas. If you have reference screenshots, also a picture of like the area where you want it, and if you could circle it with your phone, that always helps. And approximately how big, and usually I price you out, and I send you my calendar, and I let you pick the day. I know other artists like they just cross off the days that they already have, but I let or they'll tell them, oh, can you come on this certain day? Some people, they don't work like that. Their flexibility with their work, so make sure you get your. I try to tell them, take your day off, because that's your time, that's my time. If you want, I've had a couple incidents where I don't like to work late. I like to work while my son's at school, but I tell them, make sure you take your day off, because this is your time. This is your money. This is my time. Putting my art on you. So try to accommodate your schedule to mine. Yeah. I feel like deposits are very important. They're to confirm the appointment. The deposit goes towards your tattoo, and you just pay off the balance at the end. But the most critical reason why deposits are important is because, say, I take your word and you're gonna be here at 10:30 tomorrow, and you're not here at 10:30. I just put like three other people aside just because I thought your your word is bond, and you get here and you're not here. So I just lost days work. Now I'm scrambling around. Hey, can you come in? Do you want to come in? And like now, there's that person's schedule's changed. So it's like now I lost a day of work when I could have made money. Um, so the tattoo deposits are, that's what they're for, to ensure that I'm gonna be working that day. I give my clients a 48-hour notice. I set up my policies. I pretty much, they're self-explanatory. It's like a contract between me and you. I give them 48 hours. I think that's enough time to contact me if there's any cancellation. We have to reschedule, and that gives me time. I don't have to worry about it. Um, but yeah, deposits goes towards your design. I really don't like to do designs beforehand. I've had a lot of experience where I've done designs and it taken me a couple hours to do, and you get here and you change your mind. So I just wasted my time drawing this up for you just to change it. I probably won't post your tattoo, even though I enjoy doing the work. I was just, if I don't post your tattoo, don't take it personally. It's just like the audience that I'm trying to attract is not what you just gave me, and it's not because I didn't like your tattoo or your idea. It's because that's just the way I'm trying to focus as an artist, and not have restrictions and just focus on one thing. I want to be creative in my own way, and not just like because you showed me this tattoo, that's what you want. So don't take it personally if I don't post your tattoo. If I'm working on a big piece, I probably won't post it till the end. I'll post all the process, all in one post. Placement on for a tattoo on the body is very critical because everybody is different. Everybody, skin is different. I like to be more of like a free base placement of flowing with your body, like something. It's gonna be on you forever. You can't move it after this. So placement is very important. The design is important. If I feel like the design has too much going on in a little area that you want it, I just won't feel like it would work, and probably talk you out of it or move it somewhere else. I feel like a lot of tattoos with a lot of details are not gonna heal up right over time. Just because I feel like I know, not feel, I know the skin is not gonna be the same in 5 years. And it's not because I tattooed it wrong or your tattoo artist did it wrong. That's just the way skin is. So also that has to do a lot with placement, where you get hit with the sun. You that's gonna take a factor in how it heals. So yeah, placement is very important. Composition. I'm very with my clients. I'm very upfront. I tell them how it is. I don't like your idea. Like, what do you think of this? Let's just switch it up a little bit. Um, I do inform them. Like, one reason why I don't do finger tattoos is because the ink doesn't hold on the finger as well as another part of the skin. I tell them, hey, maybe we should take this off just because over time it's not gonna look right. And that's how I just make it seem, not make it seem, but that's what I explain to them. Like, this is what's really gonna happen with your tattoo in 5-10 years. Do you want a nice tattoo that's gonna last you forever? Or do you want like a glob of ink? So it makes them rethink the idea, and also it like makes me like be more artistic freedom. Like, oh, I'm gonna add this instead of that. Take away this and put that in. Make it unique to you, your style, to you, to the person at that time. So yeah, I do explain to them how the sun beats on your tattoos, what you could do. After they're healed, I recommend sunblock on your tattoos when you go to the beach, camping, whatever. All that stuff is a prevention on lotion and sun cream. All that stuff is just to help your body and your tattoos, and it feels good. Keep your skin refreshed and make sure your tattoos pop out even more. Like 5 years ago, I would negotiate with clients and give them what they wanted, and still I would still not like to haggle because I feel like you don't haggle with tattoos. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna go to Foot Locker and haggle these shoes, so I feel like it should be like that with tattoos, and I've always kept it real with my clients. It's like, you know, you know, I don't I don't haggle. I mean, I feel like they're earned. Like, you come to me for a certain period of time. Yeah, we close the bond. Now we're not clients. Now we're friends. We're chilling. People trust me with their life stories. I come in here, I feel like a therapist sometimes. We talk back and forth. So it's like that. That's when it's not even haggling. It's like me hooking you up. Like, give me a hookup. Like a homie. Um, but right off rip, I feel like it's very disrespectful. Especially because like I know you see my work. I know like you probably gotten other people that want to haggle already got tattoos, and they've gotten accustomed to haggling. So it's like when they see like actually good work and they get the price, it's like they kind of get like, all right, never mind. I don't want to. I don't want to sense like oh, you're cheap. No, it's not that. It's just because everybody's in different like places in life. They want something, but tattoos are not a necessity. They're a want. Um, some people have even described them as a luxury. It's not a luxury. It's just like knowing where you're at in life. What are your needs and wants. I've the ink that I've used since the start. I've never had any skin irritations or allergies. Is I gotta say intense. I've never intense and eternal. I feel those are the my like I said, those are mine. What I like to use, other artists like to use dynamic, Empire, etc., etc. There's so many inks out in the industry now that you can buy. I just feel like intense. They work for my style. They work for me. I feel like when I think of tattooing, I'm thinking of your tattoo 10 years from now. What it's gonna look like 10 years from now. I want some bold, like solid, like um, ink. So my ink right now is like very dense, so it's hard to wipe off. Which a lot of like artists now don't like to use them because it's just the fact that it smears a lot. I've learned to work my way around it. Um, I like my results from it, so I haven't switched it up since. Some of my tools I use a for my tattoo machine. I've started off with a sharps. And then I was so against the coils. So against the rotaries when they came out. I was like, man, those are for pussies. And I'm always like coiled to the soil. I'm always gonna use a coil. And like once I started using like a rotary, it was like so much lighter, so much like on your hand. It wasn't so weighed down. It actually made me slow down my work to like slow it down. Like you're going too fast type. So there's the advantages of like machines. You got your coils, you got the rotaries, which now everybody in the industry, probably 90% of the tattoo artists are using rotaries. Yeah, ink caps, green soap. I actually go on online and buy them at Nuclear Supply. They're right here in Buena Park. Um, for like cleaning supplies, I'll go on Amazon, get the necessity bibs, um, just stuff that's not expensive. I go online on Amazon, but like mostly my needles and my ink, I get them from Amazon. I mean from Nuclear. Disposing of the tattoo needles is very critical. I shout out to Mag, um, my boy Adam over there. They're local. They're non-contract. He pretty much charges you by how many bins you have, and some of these other places like waste industries, you have to have a contract where they come in once a month, and if you don't have anything, they still charge you. But Adam at Mag, he I let them stack up a little bit. That way, it's worth his drive and my time and my money for him to come and collect them. And after that, I don't know what he does with them, but they're properly disposed of. That's can't just leave needles laying around. It's like walking by a syringe. Like you definitely don't want to touch that. It's the same procedure. Properly dispose of that. If you're an upcoming artist and you're thinking about it, make sure this is what you want because it turns into a lifestyle that you either have to keep up with it or you get pushed out. And just make sure you this is what you want because eventually you're gonna if you do get into it, you're gonna start getting more tattooed. And talking from experience, you're not just sitting around a shop on your downtime and sometimes drawing. Sometimes you're tattooing your coworkers, your friends, and you end up getting blasted and now it's like, oh man, now you have to stick with it. Nobody's gonna hire nobody with a forehead tattoo, so it's like now it's the real thing. You're all in. So just make sure this is what you want. Always like make sure like cleanliness is key even before you tattoo. Like just know the basics. Like don't just rush into it. If you can't handle the job, don't take it. Like that's how you mess people up. Just pass it on. Just don't be afraid. Ask questions. Always, there's so much information online. Just make sure this is it because it does get real. Yeah, right now I'm thankful I have a my girlfriend. She's so like accommodated to like my lifestyle, and even when she came in, she like I feel like she supported me since day one. And she knows a tattoo artist, and I feel like having that support already mentally, you have to like be strong. Um, I get put on a lot of hours sometimes. I feel like I neglect her, and it hurts me, because she's there for me, and I want to be there for her, and So it's hard sometimes, work and work in my life. I have my 4 year old. He's autistic and he doesn't talk, so it's really hard because by far you should be talking. And I'm getting programs and services for him that take up my time. So now I have to work. And sometimes I have to take days off that I don't want to. You know, but I try to make it up with them. Family time, barbecues, any which I can. Try to take them out as a family, and yeah, it's hard. Like not having a family, you focus on your work. You're in work mode, and when you have a family, it's like it's a fine line. Like you have to set your restrictions on your work. Like you have to cut off people. Like like yo, I'm not tattooing you at no 10 o'clock at night. It's I'm not 18 no more. Like you have to like set your boundaries, for you can have your life. It's not all parties like everybody thinks. It's we're cool. It's cool. Being in the industry, you meet a lot of new people, a lot of talent. Um, but yeah, you do before anything tattoos. You have to focus on yourself. You know, because that focus on yourself reflects on your tattooing. If you're not with it, if you're not giving it all at something, then just don't do it. So I try to. I want to say like sometimes I'm overwhelmed with work. That's all I see is work, work, work. But then I forget about my family, and and then I think about it. I'm like, I gotta take a step back. Something's wrong. So a couple projects that I have coming up this year is I actually have a few. I have two art shows. I'm gonna be in this month. Coming up in September, I'm gonna be at the Golden State Expo in Pasadena. It'll be my second year attending um, as a solo artist. So a lot of my achievements are like shown off there. Not shown off, but like recognized. There you go. Recognized there by other artists. Like I've had people come up to me randomly like, "Hey, I follow you. You're dope. Your work is dope." So that's a compliment. For other people to look up to me, other artists. Wanting and people wanting to get tattoos by me there. Um, another show is La Tinta Muerte, October 29th in Montclair. That's just a showcase of like all artists here in California, SoCal, and who are gonna come together at Alpha 7 and just it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be drinks. It's gonna be art. It's gonna be a lot of mingling, music. Um, and the one that I'm excited for is actually in 2 weeks, September 10th, for the Tattoo Heritage Museum in Long Beach. This is a good thing. It's a thing that's being sponsored by Sullen Clothing and Good Time Charlie, Carrie Barba, a lot of Johnny Quintana. A lot of well known artists are trying to make this museum a tattoo museum that it could be open to the public. Enlighten people on the history of it. So I got a couple pieces I donated to that. It's all for a good cause. All the proceeds are gonna be going towards this museum to trying to start it up here in Long Beach, and just leave my mark on the tattoo community and the world. Being heavily tattooed now. Definitely wasn't heavily tattooed 5 years ago like this. But like I said, once you get into it, you're in it, and I think that's what I did. I just knew once I was 2 years into tattooing, I wasn't gonna do this ever, like do anything other again, and I've had my share of like mistakes or regrets that I wish I could like, oh man, I wish I would have never got that tattoo because not because I regretted it, it's because now I see the transitioning of the tattoo the tattoo industry of where it's going, all the tools, all the I hate to say it, but like the internet helps out a lot with your seeing one image, and the way my mind works, I see image and I'm already thinking of brainstorming on how to tattoo it. So it's like it's not a regret. It's like always a good time memory with me. But like some tattoos, I wish I didn't do. Um, you get that stigma of like, oh wow, you're a gangbanger. Some people know right off rip, like you're a tattoo artist. The other day, for example, me and my girl went to Ross, and she has a little thigh piece I did on her, and at the end when we came back around, the security guard was like, "Yeah, I was following your girl around trying to see her leg tattoo." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, you're a tattoo artist. I was gonna ask you for a card." And he's like, "Yeah, I really saw like a lot of detail, and some people know, and then like some people are ignorant and just like think like you're a banger." And one incident, we went to a party. It was like one of our friends' parties, and I've never met the cousin. And the cousin approached me. He's like, "Hey, you're from 18th Street." I'm like, "No, the hell I'm not." Who the hell told you that? And like, I got offended by it because like, I've never met you. It's like, you don't know me. Like, I have my face tatted. I'm the nice guy. Like, I could be like an asshole, but like, it's like, I feel like anybody could be that, but I feel like I don't want to be portrayed as that. Like, oh, cholo, let's get away from him. Like, no, it's like I got a college degree. Like, I went to high school. Like, I'm articulate. Like, I like history. I like philosophy. Like, this stuff people don't know. Go to museums. I enjoy museums. Um, but yeah, it's just all depends on where you go. Like, you're gonna stand out anywhere you go. I felt like I've been judged. It's definitely job opportunities. I know when I was 16, I was talking about earlier. I was 16. I was already with tattoos, but I also was intrigued in the military. I wanted to go serve my country, and I did go apply for the Marines, and I had a neck tattoo. My son's name on my neck and a couple on my hands, and I feel just from them seeing that they turned me away, and I was like, bro, what is the difference? Like, I'm gonna be wearing gloves in like the military anyway. Like all that, you get all combat out. It's like I'm just trying to serve. I'm trying to be somebody, trying to do something in my life. So it's yeah, it's hard being judged. Um, I've come to like just live with it. This is me, and that's it. Like you see what you get. What you see is what you get. Like at the end of the day, I'm just human. I'm a man, and I'm just decorated. It wasn't like that. The tattoos being accepted and shit. My lawyer could have a whole full sleeve and you wouldn't know because he has a suit. But there's people like that, and I've seen it, and and it does come a long way. It's people are more open minded than what they were. First there was like tattoos are to like categorize you into a label. He's the bad guy. He has tattoos. He's done some prison time. No, it's like it's people have their past, but they embrace their past is why they get the tattoo to leave their mark on themselves to represent themselves. So now like people being more open minded about it and getting tattoos. I feel like that's how they think about it, getting a tattoo. They're marking their body because something happened in their life, meaningful or tragic, but they want to remember it. And I feel like that's how when I get tattooed, that's how I'm approaching my tattoos. Um, I've had a lot of trial and tribulations, so that's how I like to depict my tattoos through Bible stories. Um, David versus Goliath. I've had my demons. So that's just me. But yeah, tattoos have definitely become more accepted in this community. Yeah, to each his own though. Like if that's what's helping your business. That's what's making you transform into that person that you want to portray. Like that's gonna be your life. So it doesn't even like phase me no more. Face tattoos. Like I thought I would never have a face tattoo, and here I am. Face tattoos. I thought they would hurt. I'm like they don't. But it's just the way you self express, I guess. So SoundCloud rappers, hey, that's how they're making their money, and then that's how they're making their money. At the end of the day, as long as they're happy, and I'm happy with who I am and how I'm tatted. Like I wish I had better tattoos. Well, better done, but I don't regret like not being tatted because it's made me to the artist and that person who I am right now. I've had like in the younger years, I've had like and encounters with the police, jail, and in jail they take your picture. They if you have tattoos, they categorize you. You have a little folder like tattoos all detailed out. So yeah, one time got pulled over and I have the Boston Red Sox B on my wrist and they already automatically thought I was blood. They didn't know I was from the East Coast, that I like the Red Sox, that I like baseball, it's my favorite team. I've had like incidents like that, or like, or where you from, but never to the point where like it being serious, where you're being like identified as like a criminal. They see it and they've seen it with the police. They know what to look out for. You know they know. So if she even sees this, probably gonna see it. My mom, um, you know, my clients. Thank you. Thank you for always supporting me. Um, thank you for always recommending me to people. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have be doing what I love every day. And yeah.